Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of MacroActive Radio. So stoked to have you here with us listening. I have the pleasure of introducing Brett Harmon, who is the Head of Customer Experience here at MacroActive. How are you, Brett?
I'm good. Happy to be here. How are you?
Good. I'm good, thank you. Thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. So today we're going to talk a little bit about your team. And all of the amazing things about it, how it's helping our clients and trainers to essentially level up their fitness brands. So would you like to introduce yourself and what the team sort of does?
Yep. So, hey guys, my name is Brett Harmon. I've been doing this for what's coming up to probably almost 8 years now. It started way back with Joseph Rakic, who has become one of MacroActive's flagship trainers. He started his business. It was just he and I in the garage. One of the first tasks that sort of got too much for him was the customer service. I started to do the customer service that sort of Joseph didn't have time to do. Moving forward, MacroActive was born, and my role became a hybrid role between Joseph Rakic Fitness and MacroActive. Primarily now with MacroActive, looking after all of our trainers' customer service. So I guess you could say online training is a new space, and from the very beginning with one of our pioneer trainers, Joseph, we sort of wrote the book on this customer service, which now has sort of carried over to a role with MacroActive, not just dealing with obviously Joseph, but a whole range of trainers.
That's awesome. And how could you give us, I guess, an example of how the customer support and experience team has enhanced the company's vision to change lives since its creation?
So one of MacroActive's measures of success is the number of lives changed. And how the customer service department ties into that is it sort of allows trainers to, in a way, get their lives back. You're not sort of stuck in the business, you can be working on the business while you have asked the customer service team to sort of work in the business and deal with those day-to-day inquiries, freeing up your time for maybe something outside of the business if you want to be a little bit more hands-off, or if you're a little bit more hands-on, potentially creating content and really driving your brand forward.
It's great because a huge pain point we see coming from a lot of our trainers is that lack of time, and I think...
Absolutely. And there's sort of like two types of trainers. There's the trainers that sort of want to be a little bit more hands-off, which of course our customer service team can help with because it does allow them to be a little bit more hands-off. You sort of don't have to have that real in-depth product knowledge or platform knowledge because we're there to take care of any of the trainers' end customers' questions, meaning the trainer doesn't have to. That's one. Or if you like to be a little bit more hands-on, we can sort of still manage the customer service with as much involvement as the trainer wants, or frees up the trainer's time to be in more of a revenue generating role of their business, for example, content.
Yeah, it's great. And so to summarize, I suppose, some of the things we've just spoken about, what is the main purpose of the customer support team?
So I guess we can, the main purpose of the team can be divided into three parts. The part that we've already covered is the benefits for the trainer, which sort of, in a nutshell, frees up the trainer's time to focus on other areas of the business or other things depending on what the trainer's goal is. The second part is the benefit to the trainer's customers. Now, nobody knows this product better than MacroActive staff. You know, some of us, myself, have been doing it for 8 years. We know what the trainers and the trainers' end customers want, and we know if there is an issue, we know how to solve it quickly and efficiently. So in a nutshell, it will give the trainers' customers the best possible experience because nobody knows our product better than we do because we have been doing it so long. Not to mention, our team is comprised of members who have customer service experience, personal training experience. So not only are we answering in a way that's in line with sort of our product, we also have quite a lot of experience that sort of are all part of the customer service umbrella. And the last part, I'd be lying if I didn't say there was a benefit to MacroActive. Our goal is to change as many lives as possible, and delivering the best support to our trainers' customers does help us with our end goal of changing as many lives as possible.
It's great, and then it also helps the trainer impact as many lives as they possibly could as well.
Absolutely.
It would be so hard to do that without the support
Absolutely.
of the team.
Yeah, to reiterate, that's how sort of MacroActive measures their successes, the amount of lives changed, and then the trainer sort of feeds into that as well with making a difference with the number of lives changed.
Yeah, totally. And it means that not only is it helping the trainer in the sense that it can free up time and take away some of those common struggles they have, but it's actually just providing a better experience for their clients all around.
Absolutely. And the types of questions we get are not necessarily specific to the platform. It could be a personal training related question. It could be something to do with payment. So we're not just there to sort of like deal with the odd issue. That would be the minority of requests. It's more, can I do this regarding my meal plan? Can I change these exercises? Or how can I make a payment? So it's not exclusively sort of MacroActive platform issues. It's ongoing personal training as well as any payment related question that comes up. For example, signing up, like any trainer would want this customer to cross the line as soon as possible. If they have a support team there ready to go, we can help with that too.
And so following on from that, what are the specific functions that help the trainers become more effective?
Okay, so this can be, again, for brevity's sake, we'll divide it into three main categories. The first is what I mentioned before. It's sort of platform related support. So let's say a common one is a customer might have questions before signing up, or they've clicked the wrong link, or they're in the wrong place. So it's anything to do with the MacroActive platform, downloading the app, accessing the app. Could be, I can't log into my account, I need to reset my password. Anything along the lines of the MacroActive platform, we can help. The second thing is, again, the personal training support, and could be any question pertaining to any of the products, most commonly the meal plan and the workout program. The customer might have a question about their diet preferences. They might want to substitute a meal or ingredient. The customer support team's there to help with that. The workout program, the customer might want to swap an exercise or have questions about the goal. Maybe they want sort of more of a strength building plan as opposed to a muscle hypertrophy plan. The personal trainers in our team can help with that as well. The last thing is probably payment gateway and things related to payments, but not necessarily signups. It could be around disputes and retention. So there's always going to be a small number of disputes where customers open disputes as opposed to actually making contact with the trainer. We can help with the full dispute resolution process, as well as managing sort of any retention that's required if and when a customer cancels. So it's not just letting them sort of fall out the back door, it's making sure that we retain as many customers as possible and have a process around retaining them, getting them back, or sort of keeping them long term.
It's a lot of good stuff there. And so what makes the team different in that sense? I mean, we've mentioned a lot of things that I think make this team a no-brainer to have as a part of your fitness business, but from that, what makes the team different?
So first and foremost, I guess social media hasn't been around for a long time in terms of everything that's been around from the beginning of time. So this is like this is a really new space. That's the point. Online training and that sort of thing is a really new space. So again, our level of experience comes into play here with this sort of being new territory, and you can't look at what other teams were doing 20 years ago because the space didn't exist 20 years ago. So the first thing is that we actually have experience from real pioneers at the beginning of this sort of like social media online training wave. Second of all, we do have, our team is a global team. We have an office in New Zealand, Manila in the Philippines, and we have a couple of remote staff in South America. So we do not cover a 24/7 window yet, but we are we cover 7 days a week, and we're working towards a 24/7 coverage of our customer support, which we're right on the verge of.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so for those trainers listening, existing trainers, how does this work for them?
Of course, they can contact me at any time, brett@macroactive.com, or just contact the team member who you feel most comfortable dealing with about how to go about getting on board with our support service. And hey, it's something that even if you're sort of on the fence, give it a go. You know, if and when that you find that it's not something for you, you can always go back to doing your own support. But I feel you're leaving a stone unturned by not seeing the benefits and trying it firsthand. And obviously, I'm quietly confident that once you've sort of tried the service, you won't go back. But give it a go, see if it's for you, and then you can always go back to doing your own support. Although, yeah, I don't think you would go back to doing your own support after seeing the benefits of having that aspect of your business taken care of in a way that endorses your brand and that you don't have to worry about.
Yeah, and you would have seen time and time again just how beneficial the service has been for so many of our trainers.
So many of our trainers at different levels. So it's not, you may be thinking, oh, this is for the big trainers that are dealing with, you know, X amount of volume. I'm a little bit smaller and I wouldn't benefit from the service. It benefits the big trainers for obvious reasons, just with a sheer volume of support. And it can also benefit the smaller trainers to become bigger trainers because they're not spending so much time working in the business. They can actually focus working on the business.
Exactly.
And not worry about sort of the small stuff, which is where we come in. So it really does benefit all levels of trainers.
Yeah, that's perfect. Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much for that, Brett. I really appreciate having your time, and I know that everyone would have gotten some extreme value out of that. Inquire with our team. I'll leave the details in the bio and description of this podcast if you're wanting to get in touch. But yeah, thank you so much.
No problem. Happy to be here.